What is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video of my sports Gematria. In this video, I'm going to go over some basketball games for Monday, April 18th, 2022. I'm going to show you highlights of each side, and it's going to be up to you to determine who you think will win based on the numbers. I encourage you to add additional information on top of this if needed for you to feel confident in your own pick. And I wish you guys the best of luck on all your picks today. Let's go ahead and get into the game. I got to get up my share screen. Did not do that yet. Share screen. There we go. All right, so today we're going to be looking at the Raptors versus the Sixers, Jazz versus the Mavericks, Nuggets versus the Warriors. Just 3 games up on the board. On this side of the screen is what I call my daily numbers, date numerology, Gregorian Hebrew calendar. This side of the screen is what I call my game numbers specific to the game. The way that I have it structured here is I have the home teams. I'm keeping track of playoff home team win-loss records. This is also the series for the game up top here as well. Sixers lead the series 1-0. They could become 2-0 or 1-1. The road team is right here. Their coach's all-time record, his playoff record, season record, road record, and their playoff record as a team. In the middle is the all-time head-to-head records between the two teams, as well as for the playoffs, as well as for this season in particular. And then at the bottom is the home team, their season record, their home record, their playoff record, their coach's record, and his playoff record. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump right into this. Not take up any time here. If I usually start with the home team, go over some numbers for the home team to win this game, and then I'll go over some numbers for the road team. So let's start with the home team here with the Sixers. If the Sixers were going to win this game, start off by saying that this is the 16th postseason head-to-head matchup between these two teams. Sixers can get their 53rd win for the season, 53 the 16th prime number. Raptors coach, he would get his 136th loss all-time for his career. 136 is the 16th triangular number. And if you write out the number 16, it sums to 33. And Sixers can become 3-3 like 33 against Raptors for this season to go with as they get that 53rd win, the 16th prime, and the 16th playoff game. Raptors coach gets his 136th loss, the 16th triangular number. Today, let me bring up the date numerology. Today does have a 64 date numerology on the Gregorian, a day leaving 257 left in the Gregorian year, the 55th prime number. Raptors could become 55-64 for a playoff record with the loss. 55-64, 64 date numerology, 257 left, the 55th prime. It's a day with 19 date numerology on the Gregorian as well, and Raptors can get their 19th road loss to go with. And then it's the 244th day of the Hebrew Civil. Sixers can go ahead and continue to sit on 244 playoff losses with the win. 17th day of the Hebrew religious side of the calendar, a day with 100 date numerology on it. Sixers can sit on 17 home losses as their coach gets his 100th playoff win for his career. So those would be some numbers. Also, one last thing, Sixers can get their 51st all-time head-to-head win against the Raptors today with 28 date numerology, 28 sums to 51. So those would be some numbers for the Sixers to win this game. If the Raptors were going to win this game, we would go back to the number 64. 64 written out sums to 49 and 50. Raptors can get their 49th win for the season as they get their 25th road win to go with. And 25 written out sums to 50 and 49, just like 64 sums to 50 and 49. And Raptors can get that 49th win to go with. Raptors can actually become 49-35 for a season record with the win as they get their 25th road win. 25 sums to 50, 49, but it also sums to 149, the 35th prime number. 49, 149, the 35th prime. Raptors could become 49-35 for a season record with the win as they get their 25th road win to go with on a day with 64 date numerology. 64 sums to 49 and 50 as well. Raptors, they would sit on 50 all-time head-to-head losses against the Sixers with the win as they get their 69th all-time head-to-head win against Sixers. 69 also sums to 49 and 50. So to continue that pattern on. And then also with it being 64 date numerology on the Gregorian, 64 has a square root of 8. So 8 times 8 equals 64. And Raptors could become 8-8 head-to-head against the Sixers for the playoffs with a win. 8 times 8 equals 64. They could become 8-8. So that would be some numbers there for this game. If we move on to the next one here, the Jazz versus the Mavericks. Go get my ticker on here. Jazz versus the Mavericks. Starting with the home team, the Mavericks. What's a big thing for this game for me is if Luka is playing. Right now, he's a game time decision. He's a light red here at the bottom, which means unlikely. He's unlikely to play in this game. If Luka Doncic was going to play in this game, I would probably be back in the Mavericks 100%. They have some good numbers here. It's just without Luka, I don't know if I trust it. So here's some numbers for the Mavericks to win this game. 84th game for the season for Jazz, 84th game for the season for Mavericks. Mavericks can get their 84th all-time head-to-head win against the Jazz. It could be that simple. Mavericks would sit on 31 losses for the season with the win, 31 the 11th prime number. This is their 11th postseason head-to-head matchup between these two. And Mavericks can even the score 1-1 head-to-head like an 11 for the series with Jazz with a win. They can get that revenge. Also, something that's interesting is these two, the next time these two play is on Thursday. Game 3 is on Thursday. So if we go to Thursday, which is the 21st on the Gregorian, it would also be the 227th day of the Hebrew civil calendar, like 227. And if Jazz lose this game, their coach would become 2027 for a playoff record. Looks like a 227. And then he would be 2027 heading into that third game on the 227th day of the Hebrew civil. So a quick look ahead potentially for the Mavericks. What else? I think that might have been it mostly for the Mavericks is what I was looking at. Also, one more thing too. It's the 47th postseason game for the Jazz coach. Mavericks could become 4-7, like 47 or 7-4 head-to-head against the Jazz for the playoffs with the win. And this is Mavericks' 211th postseason game as a team. 211 is the 47th prime number. So it could be this 211, 7-4-4-7, 47th post. Would also play in favor for the Mavericks. Now, if Luka Doncic is not, or Doncic, I'm not even probably pronouncing his name right. If he's not playing this game, it doesn't mean that Dallas can't win. I mean, they only lost by 6 points in the first game. So, but they played heavy minutes, all of them. So I don't know how ready and revamped they're going to be. But some numbers for the Jazz to win this game. Jazz can just simply get their 51st win for the season. They could become 51-33 for a season record with the win. And today has 28 date numerology. 28 sums to 156 and 51. And 33 sums to 156. So 28 sums to 156, 33 sums to 156, 28 sums to 51. Jazz can be 51-33 for a season record with a win. And that would be solidifying the Jazz. The Jazz would become 5-6 head-to-head against the Mavericks for the playoffs. 5-6, like 56. If we write out the number 56, it sums to 44. And today has a 44 date numerology on the Gregorian. Also, it is the 17th day of the Hebrew religious year. And Mavericks coach can get a 17th playoff loss for his career. That could be something that goes against him for sure. And what else? Oh yeah, today is a day leaving 257 left in the Gregorian year. 257, the 55th prime number. If you write out 55, 55 sums to 108 for one. Today being the 108th day of the Gregorian, 257 left, 55th prime. But 55 written out sums to 54 and 45. And this is the 4 seed versus the 5 seed, like 54 or 45. And also 55 sums to 135. And the Jazz could become 135, 153 for a playoff record with a win. And so that's would be all she wrote for the Mavs there. But Mavericks has some good numbers, and Jazz has some pretty good numbers. And a lot of it for me is Luka going to play? And it doesn't seem like he's unlikely to play. And Dallas did pretty good last time in the last game. Like I said, it was a pretty close game. So I imagine it'll probably be a close one here, but I would think Dallas would want to win this game, motivated to win this game. I don't know if they want to be in a hole heading back into Utah, but they do have some numbers for it. But at the same time, with Luka out, it does seem a little too good to be true at the same time. So be cautious here. And then the last game, Nuggets and Warriors. So starting off with the Warriors, if the Warriors were going to win this game, today is a day leaving 257 left in the Gregorian year. 257 is the 55th prime number. Warriors can get their 55th win for the season as they sit on 10 home losses with the win. 55 is the 10th triangular number. Today does have 28 date numerology on the Gregorian. 28 written out. Well, not written out, but Warriors coach, this is his 107th postseason game for his career, which is the 28th prime number. And he can sit on 28 playoff losses with the win in his 107th postseason game. So that would kind of go with it as well. But if you write out 28, 28 sums to 156, just like 33. Well, 33 sums to 156 and 141. And 28 does sum to 156 and 141. And so Warriors can become 3-3, like 33 head-to-head against the Nuggets for this season to go with, as the coach sits on that 28 loss in his 107th postseason game, the 28th prime number. Warriors would get their 33rd, I can just mark it a gray, 33rd home win as they become 3-3 head-to-head against for the season. So that's a possibility there. And Nuggets coach, he would get his 333rd all-time loss for his career, 333 all-time loss for his career to go with. And then for the Nuggets, if the Nuggets were going to win this game, this is the 11th. This will be the 11th playoff game for the NBA playoffs this year. Nuggets could seek revenge and even the score 1-1 head-to-head against the Warriors, like an 11. The Warriors would get their 11th home loss for this season to go with. And very similar to potentially the Raptors, the 49-35, the Nuggets, they could become 49-35 for a season record with the win today with 64 date numerology, 64 sums to 49. And what else here? They would sit on 35 losses with a win as they become 3-5, like 35 head-to-head against the Warriors for the playoffs. That would go with it. Nuggets would get their 103rd all-time head-to-head win against the Warriors as Warriors fall 2-4 head-to-head against the Nuggets for the season, like 24 written out. Sums to 103. Also sums to 50 and 49. Nuggets get that 49th win. 64 date numerology, 50 and 49. And then also 27, since 103 is the 27th prime number, 27 written out sums to 125. And Nuggets can sit on 125 losses for the playoffs with a win. So those are just some numbers there. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully this gives you some insight to the games. I kind of breezed through it pretty quickly there. But definitely some plenty of numbers there for each side. With 3 games, home teams have been doing really good in the playoffs so far. Home teams come in today 6-2 for the playoffs. I think Sixers could potentially win this game, maybe. Raptors have some numbers, though. Excuse me. Jazz, I want to look towards Mavericks for the upset, but that Luka, I just don't know. But Jazz has some numbers, too. Both of these games have some decent numbers. And then Warriors and Nuggets. There could be some revenge here for the Nuggets. I want to say there's going to be at least one upset tonight. I don't know if all 3 favorites are going to win. I want to see if there's at least one upset. And I was kind of leaning towards the Mavericks at first, but with Luka, I just don't know. I don't know if I feel confident in it. I don't know if it's too good to be true. It could be the Nuggets. It could be the Nuggets with the 11 and the... Or you know what? It could be none of them. It could be no upsets. I mean, again, NBA playoffs, I think there's only been one upset this entire time, which is the Grizzlies. So it's not like these games are being upset left and right. But I'm definitely going to continue to think about this. I want to say there's going to be at least one. It's just a matter of choosing the right one. And that's what's tough about 3 games. If there's 3 games and one of these are an upset, and you try and pick the upset and you lose, you just guaranteed yourself 2 losses instead of 1. Because if there's 3 games and only one of them is an upset and you don't pick that upset right, well, you just lost 2, guaranteed 2 losses. Versus if you just pick all favorites and there's only one upset, now you have your 2-1 for the night instead of 1-2 by picking the wrong upset. So there's different tricks that you can play with yourself to make it through a night like this if you really want to. But I'm gonna keep looking these over. I'll have my posts on my Patreon, written, underline, italicized. I'll stop blabbing in this video. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate the support. I wish you guys the best of luck on all your picks today. Hopefully you win all the money in the world, and I'll see you in the next video.